All of this is quoted from Think and Grow Rich. Okay, just quoted everything out of here, because then we're going to go through this slide that you've seen before on Monday, and we're going to piece everything together very nicely tonight. Okay, the brain chapter, the sub little part chapter thing that it talks about there, is literally saying the broadcasting and receiving station of thought. Now, if you can remember, most of you were here last Monday. If you weren't, you watched the replay. If you haven't even been in the program yet, this is your first session. That's okay as well. Okay. We went through this slide here, this logical sequence of that we live in a vibrational world. Universe speaks through vibration. We are energy-based beings. And we have to give out that feeling, that vibration, in order to get what we want, in order to get what we desire. So, we talk about the mind. We don't talk about the brain a lot. I would write that down. I have a broadcasting and receiving station for thought. I have a broadcasting and receiving station for thought. Pretty cool. You don't have to create that. You don't have to invent it. You don't have to buy it. It's already there. It's your brain, the one that you have inside your head right now, inside my head. Now, this is going to get really good. Through the medium of the ether, in a fashion similar to that employed by the radio broadcasting principle, every human being is capable of picking up vibrations of thought, which are being released by other brains. Maybe you've never read Think and Grow Rich, this chapter before, brain. What's he talking about? The ether. Universe, same word. Okay, so ether, what he's talking about is this space of the universe that permeates, penetrates all of the universe, and there's some sort of mysteriousness to this stuff. It's all empty space, but we can't see. What's going on with all these vibrations? There's a space for this. That's what he calls the ether throughout Think and Grow Rich. Call it the universe. Call it whatever you want. It's all the same principle, basically, behind it. Different perspective, same basic principle. So we could say through the medium of the universe in a fashion similar to that employed by the radio, right? The radio is a transmitting and receiving station. That's how we hear music. We turn the dial to a certain frequency, AM or FM, on a certain spot, and you can hear classic rock. That's what goes on there. Same thing as our brain is what he's saying. Every human brain is capable of picking up vibrations of thoughts, which are being released by other brains. Vibrations of an exceedingly high rate are the only vibrations picked up and carried by the ether. Very important. And we're going to explain. I know sometimes we're thinking of all this theory and this knowledge. How do you apply it? Why do you need to know this? We'll go through that. Just feel this statement. Vibrations of an exceedingly high rate are the only vibrations picked up and carried by the ether. They are the only vibrations picked up and carried by the ether. Thought is energy traveling at an exceedingly high rate of vibration. Okay. If you're taking notes, you should write that first line down and this line right here. Let's go a little marker out here. Vibrations of an exceedingly high rate are the only vibrations picked up and carried by the ether. Exceedingly high rate. So, if we put the universe in there, vibrations of an exceedingly high rate are the only vibrations picked up and listened to by the universe. Thought which has been modified or stepped up by any of the major emotions vibrates at a much higher rate than ordinary thought. Thought which has been modified or stepped up by any of the major emotions vibrates at a much higher rate than ordinary thought. So every author, every speaker in the world is always saying the same thing, right? We're always talking about the feeling, right? And getting into the feeling of our wish fulfilled, feeling good before things change. Finding all the reasons. That's in our paradigm shift challenge every single time, right? Talking about how good we feel, talking about the ease and the relief and all the emotions before things change physically. Why? Now we're going to come from a different perspective from Napoleon Hill. Because when we step up our thoughts with a positive or negative emotion, it vibrates at an exceedingly higher rate. That's why we feel it. That's why we feel good. This process takes place through positive emotions or negative emotions.